Alright, in today's video I have something interesting for you where I'm actually running Return on a bunch of the Pokemon on my team currently, and this is not a good team at all. Just want to point that out there that this team is terrible, but I actually had some pretty fun battles with it, and I figured this would be very entertaining since most people probably aren't willing to run something like this. So I have a handful of Pokemon that have Return on them. I have my Gligar with Night Slash in return, Marshtomp with Mud Bomb in return, and then Electrode with Discharge in return. So yeah, this is very spicy, and I'm still climbing up to get my Elo, which I'm assuming after running this team, it's probably not going to be the best Elo I could possibly have. But yeah, I thought this would be... I got some really interesting ideas. I might not say them here in case so I don't feel like obligated to do any of them. But I thought of some interesting videos that might be cool challenges to make for the channel. And this is kind of just one I wanted to play something difficult for the Go Battle League in general. So I am in the Remix Cup right now, if you're wondering. Great League Remix. And I just wanted to run something that would be entertaining and satisfying. And connecting returns... I mean, there was a point when Return was broken. For a very brief time when they first introduced Return in Pokemon Go. It was pretty insane. It was kind of like Hyper Beam in a way, like how much damage it did. But yeah, it's definitely, most of these Pokemon, I mean, some scenarios come up where maybe having Return on the particular Pokemon might be advantageous, like Gligar versus Gligar. Me using a Return into opposing Gligar is actually kind of nice. But yeah, it's still like extremely spicy, and I would just sit back and relax. And if you want to enjoy this video, so you don't have to actually sacrifice your MMR and Elo by, you know, getting wrecked by Abomasnow and Alone Ninetales, which is definitely the two Pokemon that if this team sees, it pretty much is almost like impossible to try to break through it. But yeah, really crazy first set. Let me try to focus on this a little bit. Getting a Charizard lead, that's actually not too bad for Gligar. I think I go for Return. I might just go for bait, actually. I take the Blast Burn, and then I go for Return. This makes sense. So if I take a move instead of shielding, I usually go for the nuke instead of baiting. If I do shield, a lot of times I do try to bait, but it depends on the scenario, I suppose. I'm going to safe swap into Electrode, and kind of scary to see the Clodsire come in. I'm going to smack it with Return, which is an interesting scenario because, I mean, Electrode does get Hyper Beam, and I mean, Hyper Beam is probably just better. Let's be real. Oh my gosh, yeah. Anyways, in comes Marshtomp, and I'm just gonna throw the Mud Bomb into Clodsire, which is actually gonna do a decent amount of damage, but I'm gonna get smacked now by Earthquake, unfortunately. Also, if you like Spice, hit that like button because I did this for you. And maybe consider following and subscribing. It does help my content out a lot here on the platform. Also, by the time this video is live, more than likely my next single, Things Change by Rob Sassy, is live on all streaming platforms. Go stream it on Spotify, stream it on YouTube Music, Apple Music, Amazon Music, wherever. It's an interesting new experimental song that I'm putting out. I have a whole album of songs that I'm releasing over the next couple months before I release the full album. They're already all mastered and recorded. So I thought I would release this one since it's kind of the anomaly of the album. It's the most recent track I've made. But yeah, check it out. It would mean a lot to me, and jam out. But yeah, the Thunder Punch is good bait by my opponent here because the Aqua Tail is going to hurt way more than a Thunder Punch against Gligar. I'm just going to take this move and try to farm down with Marshtomp. And I do have a little bit of extra energy, so that's nice. It is Registill, which is good because I do have Mud Bomb, so I can actually do some decent chunk damage. I'm going to generate a decent amount of energy. I actually threw this after I saw it was Clodsire because I was like, well, that's my best attack here also, is just to spam some Mud Bombs. And I was thinking what I could probably do is I could just let Marshtomp go here, and then I could farm down with Volt Switch with Electrode. And I know this is like kind of scary, but because I can actually farm down and shield, I'll actually have the energy I need to double discharge into Registill, which I think I might need. I think that's enough here if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, double discharge, so I can just remove it upon it coming back in the fight, which is great. So yeah, GG. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the final battle of the first set. Good lead for me, but I think I kind of misplay this slightly. So here I kind of, yeah, this entire situation, I should have just immediately switched in Marshtomp, knowing that I had a bad matchup with Gligar anyway. I mean, excuse me, with Marshtomp into Superior anyways. So I kind of make the mistake twice to stay in I stayed in way too long here. I took 2 Stone Edges unnecessarily. And yeah, this kind of just puts me in a pretty bad position, and I think it actually like comes down to the way I played that in the beginning, to be honest. Oh yeah, this lag here. Oh wait. Was this? Oh, I think I just quit here. I think I wanted to share this set because I was like, yo, there's no... I thought I lost due to the situation I was just trying to explain, but no, I lost the lag in general. Yeah, that's pretty lame. That was not cool. Anyways, that's one of the reasons why I really haven't been playing much in general, is the game doesn't really function that great. And personally, I don't really find it that worth playing when the game isn't really like performing. So yeah. For the most part, I'm just going to play this out. It is Acid Spray, fortunately, so I can actually get off my return. And I think I do smack it in the face, which is pretty good. It looks like it's a good situation for me here as of right now, but things can change here. No, I was about to say something like call back to the name of my song. It's a cool song. You should check it out. It's definitely unique. I don't think you've ever heard anything like it. But it's kind of like a drum and bass song. Anyways, I think this is a good situation for me if I'm not mistaken. I think I played this out properly because I feel like, how would I lose this? Okay, so I bring in Gligar. Oh, wait. I should have probably... No, I think I win this still. I think I remove Jellicent here. No, I let Gligar go, and I think I can get to the Mud Bomb on Marshtomp, just barely. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that somehow this could have... Wait, does it have double? I don't think it does. No, I think I'm good. Yeah, I didn't think it had double. There was a Typhlosion I faced that kind of caught me for surprise. I don't remember if maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe it's Chandelure, actually. I think it was Chandelure I'm thinking of. Alright, I get a Mantine lead. Not a great situation for me. But interesting enough, they switch into Marshtomp here. And I'm just going to throw the return. If they shield, that's fine. They don't shield, which is even better. I'm going to bring in my own Marshtomp and kind of mirror it. I'm going to take one move, since I do have that damage advantage here. And I'm going to generate a decent amount of energy before throwing my very first Mud Bomb. And yeah. I'm going to just throw it back to back at this point, maybe get double shields, and that is exactly what happens. And I think I just commit the shield just so I can win switch, which I thought was important here. In comes Mantine, and I can just barely get to a return, which is amazing. So I can smack the Mantine. I'm going to bring in Electrode and just kind of farm down on the Mantine here. It does throw Airlace, which is good for me. I probably could have shielded this, knowing that it's going to be Ice Beam. But I also just figured maybe it's better just to take the damage and save the shield for the back line. And in the back is a Venusaur, so this actually was the right call to save the shield, because this could have been pretty difficult if I didn't. I throw return, and from there I can just wing attack down. GG's. Alright, so pretty bad lead for me here, since I don't have Earthquake on Gligar, so I actually switch into Electrode, and they do stay in, which is fine, makes sense why they would do that. And I'm just gonna try to throw discharges to try to get off some chip damage. And they bring in Whimsicott, and I was assuming they would not shield this, knowing that it's probably either like foul play or discharge. And I do get the return off, which is amazing. So I do commit a shield just to win switch, and back comes in the Carbink. So I'm just gonna throw a discharge to get off some more chip damage. And now I'm gonna bring in Marshtomp to be a better matchup for the Carbink. I feel like they have Ice type in the back here, but I don't remember actually. Oh no, this is Chandelier. I think this is the battle I lose to the Fire type, and it's mainly because of just the ramp damage and having the shields here. So I need to take these first few flame charges, but I think what I should have done was I should have actually shielded here, or I should have stayed in with Marshtomp. I think I just kind of messed up how I played this. Like, I probably should have stayed in with Marshtomp, made sure I got to the Mud Bomb, and then brought in Gligar potentially. I don't know, it was kind of a tough call, but yeah, the flame charge incinerate damage kind of just added up there, didn't it? Pretty bad lead for me. I'm gonna stay in because it is Charm, and I'm gonna try to. I think in this situation, I should have been more courageous and went for the bait, because I just assumed they wouldn't shield, assuming that like I had the bait to win this situation. And I do feel like in these little situations where I have bad leads and I don't make the call where I should bait over just nuking, that can be game changing. Because these are nail biter matches. I mean, it's not a good lead, but there still is play. So because of just the way that played out, I just kind of figured it was probably GG at that point. Another Ninetales lead, so I'm going to try again, and I think this time I do the same thing. Okay. So I probably should just bait again, because they were definitely going to shield regardless, because it's a shadow variant. So that, yeah, a little bit of a downside that I just didn't commit for a bait after the previous match, how that played out as well. And I just kind of made a bad call here in general. I mean, I just figured that the Quagsire was going to outpace Electrode, so it probably wasn't going to be the best matchup. And yeah, I think ultimately this is already just looking kind of bad for me, because all I really have left is Marshtomp to deal with this fight, and it's probably gonna just come down to whatever the back Pokemon is, and is that really enough? Especially now that I have to take this Mud Bomb on top of it, which is just not really what I want to be doing after already like taking way too much damage. It does end up being Clodsire, and it's interesting because there actually is slight play here, but you have to keep in mind that I still have to deal with that alone Ninetales, so had some potential just because I could commit the shield, but I think they have energy on Ninetales whenever they switched out. So yeah, it's pretty much just GG. And I'm not saying that just going for the bait early game would have been the game-changing play, but it could have made a difference for sure. GG. So that, yeah, 2-3 set. Again, I wasn't posting this video because I thought you should run this team. I thought it was just something that you're probably never going to see, and could be interesting if you're just watching my pain and suffrage running Return. Man, I got really beat down in this one too, getting that defense drop from Shadowbone. Don't really appreciate seeing that, but that's part of the game, you know. So yeah, I'm going to try and get those shields, and because of the defense drop, I am going to just switch in Marshtomp. And in comes Ariados, and I figured they're not going to expect a return. Who is really going to expect? I mean, obviously I could have returned just because you can see the Purified graphic animation, but yeah, most people are never running return on this Pokemon. Why would they? I knew that was going to be a lunge and that was going to hurt with the cross poison boost. So now I won switch. I'm matched up here in shields, and in comes that Marowak again. And I do have double Mud Bomb, so I can actually just back to back launch it. And I think they just quit. I think they left at this point, because usually when the game lags like this, I say this every time it happens in a battle, it typically means they disconnected from the battle, whether it's force quit or somehow they got like knocked out of the match. But yeah, I decided to go for the BM here and actually just go for the return. And I think I can't even get to a second return. The Electrode actually can farm down with the Volt Switch, which is kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, I thought, you know, an honorable death with return. That trainer would have been happy to see that. Anyways, or maybe that's the reason why they left. they kind of felt like, like if anyone by chance was familiar with my content and saw my name and then they saw this team and they lost, there's a high chance you're appearing on my YouTube channel, I suppose. But yeah, this battle, I mean, this video in general isn't like the most flattering for me. But I thought you'd be entertained. And also, if you're enjoying this, please, I know I already mentioned it earlier, but if you've gotten this far and you're still watching and you haven't hit the like button yet, please hit the like button. It helps out a lot. And yeah, it would remind me that maybe I could lean into this type of content more, and maybe it would just be overall more fun. I mean, I do occasionally do fun challenges in Spice, more often than not, per se. But yeah, so here, another Carbink. But I think I'm going to try my best. I think this is going to be a lot more difficult, knowing that my best way to deal with it is already off the field, being the Marshtomp. And I mean, honestly, I'm not going to be able to do much from knowing that the Greninja already was like... This whole battle was just kind of bad alignment for me, and they played it really well. A lot of good energy, and honestly, just like the matchup with Greninja is like tough because it's so fast-paced, and it kind of hits my team hard. There's not much on my team that can resist an attack from it. All the neutral attacks are still going to do a decent amount of damage. And yeah, tough battle. Can't really do much here. They have the double, if I'm not mistaken. They just back-to-back me. So that's just game. Well played. And what do I do on the next battle? Let's find out together. Gligar, Mantine. So I've been able to pull off some wins against bad leads, but typically I'm going to stay in and just try to see what happens. A lot of times they're not going to shield because like I think return is probably the highest attack that I could even do here, and that's never on Gligar. So I mean, there was a point when return was actually was a pretty good option for Gligar, but I think ever since Dig got buffed, I may have earlier accidentally said something about Earthquake. I may have never said this, but yeah, Gligar gets Dig and then Gliscor gets Earthquake. I don't think I actually ever said anything about Earthquake. Anyways, Gligar with return. Actually, not like these Pokemon aren't necessarily bad. I mean, maybe return Electrode's kind of bad, especially the one I have. I think it's a Lucky. It was just like some random one that got traded to me, and I decided to use it. But yeah, I think there could maybe be a scenario where return's better on Marshtomp, but it does get Sledge Bomb too. So I was about to say like into a grass type maybe, but yeah, maybe not. Gligar potentially could use return, but realistically, probably never gonna run it. There's just better options. I think the team is like all water type Pokemon, if I remember correctly, so that's kind of interesting. Ice types are pretty good in this format. And you know, the thing is, this match, I had a pretty good situation going on, and I think it just kind of slips through my fingers. Because in the mirror match, like I was saying a little bit earlier, this is a good situation because I can smack it with return. Look how much damage that does, that's beautiful. But unfortunately, I think I do end up still losing this battle, even though I make this good progress early on. I think, what was the lead again? Oh, it's because they have a Bombus. No, Yeah, I can't really do anything against Bomb of Snow. This team is just so bad against ice types. I just stuck through it anyways, but let's be real, the ice types are very popular in this cup, and I mean, a Bomb of Snow and Ninetales respectively are just good in this format, and they're really good, but I feel like they're just not everywhere, but then they're there. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. They're like everywhere, but they're not there also. Because there's so many fire types as well that sometimes it is bad to have one of these on your team. But yeah, for the most part, my team just struggles against those, so I try to play it out, play the match still, regardless, even though that was a scary scenario for me. Unfortunately, I think I'm so low on health that it doesn't really matter that I have a type advantage here. I'm still, because of the icy winds, I can't really do enough, unfortunately. This could have been interesting, but yeah, being able to reduce my attack, and I'm just taking way too much damage being Electrode in the Great League. So yeah, that's a game. Came down pretty close, honestly, even though like a Bomb of Snow completely destroys this team. Polygon League, pretty spicy. Pretty cool though, also. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of like Dragonairs I've seen in this format, Goodras. The Dragon types are also making... I was kind of shocked how many Marshtomps I saw. I didn't realize this was actually a choice that people were using. I just grabbed some random Pokemon. I didn't even use PV Poke. I was just like, you know, the less I think about this, probably the better, in a way. So, another situation where I have a pretty good matchup just because, but unfortunately I'm going to commit this shield. The serves are still hurting. And in comes the Flygon, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I guess I'll commit the shield. This stinks that I had to do that. And I should have just done the Mud Bombs as well, but I also figured they just wouldn't shield, I guess. I don't know. Many times I feel like I lose because I just want to click the return over just trying to bait. I mean, because I'm like building up to the return anyways. I don't know. I don't know what the... It's just chance, I guess. I get lucky sometimes and I don't others, but yeah, unfortunately this is GG. I can't really do anything at this point. I mean, Confusion, they can just farm me down. And they don't really need to here, I guess. They could have just farmed me, but they're going to throw the move to ensure that they just remove me there. And I tried to give Mercy to my Marshtomp, but I was too slow. So yeah, another 2-3 set, and if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. And with that being said, the Sass Squad is getting stronger each and every day. Good morning, evening, afternoon for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you want to check out more Go Battle League content from me, consider watching this video right here, or this video right here.